Hi everyone, can you hear me? Wow, I can see loads of people here already. So if you could just let me know if you can hear me. So let me see who I can see. I can see Jamilla, Thea, Barbara, Heather, Susan, Jan. Wow, Marcia. What's Marcia saying? Hello all, I've had my fourth COVID jab, also no Oh, I thought you were going to say you've had COVID 4 times then. Um, Let me see who else we've got. Susan, yes, thanks. Jamilla, yes, can hear me, can hear me. Jamilla saying, hi Ashley, yes, loud and clear. I'm on laptop, not on TV though. And Jan saying, can hear, okay, perfect. So tonight we're going to be using Canvas Workspace. I'm just using the online version. You can use whichever version you prefer. I just tend to lean towards the online version. And this particular project that we're going to try tonight is all down to Jamilla. So let's just see what everyone's saying. Yes, can hear. Yes, fine. Okay, so everything seems to be okay. So, okay, so the comments seem to come through on my phone quicker than they do on my iPad, which is what I use as my kind of switching software, although I'm only using my computer screen tonight, but I still use my iPad to kind of check that everything's okay. Jamilla sent me this photograph. Let me get rid of that. Okay, so Jamilla sent me this photograph. I think it was earlier this week, wasn't it, Jamilla? And I think, did you say they were called display cards? I honestly can't remember. And said something along the lines of, I'm sure we can probably do this with our ScanNCut. So I had a little play a couple of days ago. In fact, I can't even remember when I did this. Probably Tuesday, Wednesday maybe. But I've literally just cut them this morning to put them on the thumbnail for YouTube. Hi Patty, hope you're okay. And this is what I came up with. So just two simple shapes. So Jan's saying, I just heard something a few days ago about a second COVID booster. Oh, I don't know. And Jamilla's saying yes for key rings. Okay, right, so the display cards for key rings. Okay, that's fine. I thought you'd said they were display cards, but I couldn't remember. So what you're seeing hopefully now on your screen are the couple that I made earlier on in the week that I've literally just cut this morning. What's Jamilla saying? Did you see the reply I last put? No, not sure. Comments kind of flick through pretty quick, so I do tend to miss stuff. Hi Lynn, hope you're okay. I'm well, thank you. Hi Kathleen, hope you're okay. I'm just trying to see if I can find out what Jamilla's asking me, but I can't see it. So anyway, I'm going to crack on. So these are the two that I've made. Now I just want to go back to Jamilla's photograph. So basically when I look at something like this, hopefully you should be able to see it. So Claire, they're display cards. Jamilla's saying they're for key rings, but I suppose they're for anything that you need to hang on to something. Let's just see what we're saying. I managed to work this out. Okay. Hi, Yolandi. Hope you're okay. Oh no, you mean on the forum? I'm not sure, Jamilla, if I've seen it or not. I honestly can't remember. I'll go and have a look after this. So Yolanda's saying it's a cold winter's day here in South Africa. Oh no. Well, it's dry here in the UK at the moment. It's been sunny today. Warmish but cool, if that makes sense. But dry at least, and apparently it's set to get warmer, so I suppose that's something to look forward to. So okay, let's look at these shapes. So there's 6 shapes here on this mat that you can see that Jamilla sent to me, and when I look at them I kind of try to see what shapes are within the shape, if that makes sense. Now I have talked about this before. Hi Alison, hope you're okay. I have talked about this before, like I've done videos on making shapes from shapes. So it's kind of like, don't look at the shape as a whole, look at it to see if it can be made up with other things, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go over to my Canvas Workspace screen, and these 2 that you can see here now in the blue and the purple, hopefully you'll be able to see them soon. Alison, they're like display cards. Jamilla sent me a picture to ask me, you know, if it's something that we could do in a tutorial. And they're like little display cards, so they've got like a little hanging tab where you'd put them, like say on a hook, and then they've got a cut-out section that you hook something over them. So in this particular case, Jamilla says they were for key rings, but I suppose you could use them for anything. You know, you can take the principle and put, you know, this section here with like the 2 circles and the half moon bit is like where you would hang the key ring over, but you could put 2 of them side by side and maybe use them for hanging earrings on, you know, if you make earrings or something like that. So as I say, when Jamilla sent me the pictures, I kind of look at them and see what shapes I can see within the shapes to try and make them. So let me see if I can, just let me try something. I don't know if this is going to work. I want to try and keep Jamilla's photographs on the screen at the same time if I can, but I'm really not sure whether I can do this. Well, that's not too bad. So in the bottom right hand corner now in the circle, I've just got the picture that Jamilla sent me. I'm not sure how well it's going to come over on screen. It's quite small. I'm not sure how I actually can edit this. So just bear with me a minute. Earrings would be good on these, Jamilla's saying. Let me just go back to, let me take that. Oh, I don't know if I can do this now. I'm trying to get clever and I'm not sure if I can do it. Let's just see if I can just go back to that. And then, no, I can't do this. Right, we're just going to have to plod on. I was going to try and keep Jamilla's photograph on the screen, but I can't work out how to edit it. So just bear with me 1 minute. So if we put that on, that's A, and then that becomes B. But how do I edit that now to make it bigger? Edit. let me see if I can make the, just bear with me a minute. Don't know if I can do this. No, I don't think I can. Right, I'm going to leave this because I can't do it. So let's just see what we're saying before we start. So Creative Concept Crafts, Lynn is saying, really weird, neither my phone nor tablet are showing live chat. Just an odd one, same last week. How strange. Jamilla's saying, I got the top shape fast, how to get that shape, but the part for the keyring sits on top. Me for a few hours to sort out. Alison's saying you're good at technology. Well, I'm not because I can't make it work, but anyway, not to worry. Hi Anita, hope you're okay. She's saying, hi everyone, nice to catch a live at last. Seems ages since I've managed a live. Oh, don't worry, they're always recorded. Thea, I would think that it would need very thick card to hold a keyring, as they can be quite heavy. I suppose it depends. I mean, these are mine, and I just cut these from Stampin' Up cardstock. This is, for anybody that does Stampin' Up, I think the pink is Magenta Madness and the blue is Misty Moonlight, the two colours that are due to retire in May. So I just literally grabbed 2 bits of card this morning and cut them. What you could always do is cut 2 and glue them together. That would make your cardstock more substantial, but again it depends what you're putting on them. So let's come back to the ScanNCut screen and let me just have a look at one last comment and then we'll crack on. He's not too bad now, thanks. Some medicines were knocking him out during the day. Oh, that's Jim, is it? Okay, during the day, so he has them before bed now. Okay. Right, I'm going to crack on anyway. So I'm going to move these 2 to the sides, and these are my little bits and pieces. I'm going to put them over there. So we'll start off with another simple one. So one of the ones that in Jamilla's picture is bottom row, middle. Okay, so let's go to Canvas Workspace. Let's get rid of that. And we'll come to basic shapes and we'll grab a circle and then we'll look for some kind of like rounded rectangle, or we'll try this one. And the other thing, when I was having a play with mine, obviously I didn't know the sizes. Jamilla just sent me this screenshot, but I kind of counted the squares and they're roughly around about 6 inches high and 4 inches wide. But obviously again, you can make them any size you want. So for now, we'll just use these 2 shapes. So this is not quite as rounded as the one in Jamilla's picture, but we'll see if we've got another one. This one might be better actually. Let's rotate this, get rid of that one. This one's a bit more rounded. So I'm just going to position one over the other by eye. I'm going to select them both. I'm going to come to edit, and I always choose the wrong one. So select them both, edit, and I'm going to line them up horizontally, okay, so that this rounded kind of rectangle-y thing is now in the middle of the circle. Not in the middle of the circle, but in the middle of it width-wise, if that makes sense. Jamilla's saying that you didn't use thick cardstock and it was okay. Yeah, okay. I mean, the 2 that I've made today, to be honest, I literally just, I made them a few days ago and I literally just ran into my craft room and cut them this morning. So I didn't even think to try hanging anything on them. But like I say, if that's a train going by the way, if anybody can hear that, I've got the door open. If you need them to be a bit more substantial, you could either cut them in a thicker material, or if you're worried about, you know, cutting thicker materials on your ScanNCut machine, or if you've not got anything thicker, just cut them 2 or 3 times and glue them together. You know, and that will make them thicker. Okay, so we've got this so far. So the first thing I'm going to do, just because this is a really kind of simple basic one, is now I've got them kind of centered to each other and they're both selected, we're going to go edit and weld. So that's now kind of like a very basic shape. To make the bit that you would hang the actual card on, so like your display hook, if you like, the way I did that, again, I just chose one of the shapes from within the basic shapes, and again, just looking at the size of the photograph that Jamilla sent me, I think this is about an inch wide. Now again, if you're making these display cards to hang on a specific size display stand, you need to measure the width of your hook and then make this element ever so slightly wider, and then it will obviously slide over your hook. But for now, I'm not doing anything too specific. I'm just going to have a play and give you the basic concept. So with this selected, you can see down here, hopefully at the bottom, it's just over 1.5 inches high and it's just under 4 inches wide. So I'm going to drag it in until it's about an inch wide. Just for this. As I say, it's not vital if it's just over an inch, it's just over an inch. Then I'm going to bring on a circle. And I think I made my circle 1/4 inch. So I'm going to take my circle down until I've got 0.25 or thereabouts. Again, it's not, you know, it's not vital. And I'm going to bring it up and position it over this kind of rounded rectangle. The circle, I think, really more than anything is sometimes if you've got a hook that's just literally like a prong, and sometimes you can have a hook that's like 2 metal pieces with a gap in the middle. Do you know the kind of thing you see in the supermarkets, and they have like toothbrush packets hung on and that kind of thing? So I kind of think this is like a dual purpose type of what am I trying to say? Holder, if you like. Do you know what I mean? So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to select both of these 2 little shapes, and again I'm going to come to edit and I'm going to align them centrally, and then I'm going to, with them selected, I'm going to go edit and weld, and now we've got this shape. If you think it looks a bit too fat here, you can make it narrower, you can always undo. So if I just zoom in on here so you can see it better, what I could do, I could make this a bit narrower and then select them both and go edit and weld. You see what we've got now? Okay, so let's just come back to about 55%. And then now I'm going to position this up here. Again, I'm going to select both and I'm going to come to edit and align. And again, it just puts this little hangy hole centrally within the width of this top shape. Okay, now you can leave that exactly as it is like that, or you can subtract it. I'm going to just make a duplicate of it for now and put it over on one side because I want to make some more shapes. Once you've got these 2 basic shapes here made, I would keep them and just, you know, keep them either on your page, and you can always come back and copy them and you know, duplicate them with other shapes. So if I come to this kind of circular shape now and I fill this with, say, this pink, you can see that this isn't cut out. I'll fill this one with black. So basically you can see I've got this kind of pinky red shape with this black shape on top, and that's perfectly fine. You could put, you know, you could group both of these together and send that to your machine and it would cut. I kind of like to subtract the shape because for me it kind of gives me more of a visual idea of what I'm actually trying to do. So let's go edit, subtract, and now it's punched that shape out of this red shape. And if I put it over here, you can see it's a hole now, because you can see the blue or the purple behind when I move over it, and you can see the mat behind it. So now we've got to make the other elements. So this bit that I've made so far would be what the display card hooks onto something. So that would be on your stand, okay? Now we need to make this funny little shape here that looks like a pair of headphones, which is basically what your item would hang on to. Now I'm doing this in individual steps. You don't need to, you can do it all in one go, and we'll do that in another one when we make it. I'm just kind of going to go through it step by step. So let's just see what we're saying. So Jamilla is saying, I am watching with eager eyes, hoping to learn. I just thought these were good for anyone who made key rings from the last time and wanted to sell them on a display. Yeah, perfect. But they could, as I say, they could be used for anything, these, couldn't they? Anything small that you can hang on. They could be made. Now Jamilla's saying, oh, see, I knew I would learn. I used 3 circles for the top. Okay, well, if it worked, it worked. You know, I'm just kind of showing you how my mind works. This is when I look at something like the photograph that you sent me, Jamilla, I just look at the shapes and see what other shapes I see within it. You know, you obviously have made yours work doing it another way. You know, we all look at things differently, don't we? And that's the beauty, especially of having our, you know, Sunday night group here, because you lot all help me when I get stuck and you come up with other ideas. So Alison's saying, we've all learnt so much from you. I'm watching and in my head I'm saying next step, i.e. group centre. Brilliant, you see? You're brilliant. That's what it's all about. That's what I love. And I forget sometimes, don't I? And I have to ask you, what, you know, how did I do that last time? And you remind me. Love to know how you do the small bit that looks like headphones. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do next now, Alison. So what we need to do now is, you can basically see my shapes over here, but I'm going to do it from scratch. So I'm going to bring on a circle, and I think I made my circle 1 inch. So I'm going to drag it down. Just let me, might not be quite 1 inch, but I think I did. We'll start with 1 inch, okay? So I've got a circle that is 1 inch. I'm going to come up, and with that circle selected, I'm going to come to edit. I'm going to come to the offset icon. I'm going to use inward, and I can't remember what I used. I think I used 0.12. But we can play around with it if it doesn't turn out, because like I say, I actually made these 2 shapes kind of about Tuesday or Wednesday. It was after Jamilla sent me the email, but I've not physically cut them until this morning. So Eddie, go and sit down please, baby, go on. So every time I start doing a live, Eddie, I don't know if he thinks I'm talking to him, and he comes up and like starts scratching at me. He was asleep on the floor a minute ago, and he's literally like jumping up at my chair now, scratching on my arm. Right, let's back to the project. So we're going to go inward 0.12, and I'm going to say okay. So I've now got a circle within a circle, and when I look at it against this one, sorry, let me just undo that. Perhaps I didn't use that much. So we'll get rid of the middle one. We'll come back to our 1 inch circle. We'll go edit, offset, inward, and we'll do 0.08 because I can't remember what I used. Yeah, that looks more like it. So now I'm going to, let me just zoom in on these 2 circles for you in the hope that you can see it better. I'm going to click in the middle of this circle and see whether this small circle is on top or on the bottom, because to do the subtract we need it on top. So I'm going to click it, and it is by the look of it. So now I'm going to select both, and I'm going to come to edit and subtract, and it doesn't look like anything's happened, but now when I move it you can see it's one object. And if I fill it with a colour, just fill it with a green, it's basically, I'm not too sure that's actually right. Let's undo that. Let's just keep undoing because I'm not sure that's actually right. Okay, so we'll redo. Just bear with me 1 minute. So I'm going to select the big circle at the back. I'm just going to fill it with a colour so that I can see what's going on in my own head. Let's fill it with green. Okay. And then let's fill this one with black. And then I think it moves, so I'm just going to come back and centre it on the horizontal and on the vertical. Okay, so I've got two circles. So I've got the green circle is the original 1-inch circle, and the black circle, which is on top, is the inward offset that I did at 0.08. Now again, you could just group these two circles and, you know, position it over the other shape and leave it, but I visually like to see what's going on, if that makes sense. And my other thought is, if you ever forget to group these and then you get it over to your machine and you click on one of these circles and it moves, it might not cut in the right place. So for me personally, I just always like to use subtract. So I am going to select both of these and go edit and subtract, and now I've got a frame, okay, and that's what I want. So I'm going to take my screen back down to kind of 55% so you can see it. Now I don't want a circle, I want something that looks like a pair of headphones, so I'm going to bring on a square. I'm going to drag it in and make it so it's a really kind of skinny rectangle. And I'm going to position it over that circle. I'm going to select both and I'm going to go to edit center and edit center. And that way I'm just putting that rectangle right through the middle of this circular frame I've just made. Okay, so now with them both selected, I'm going to come to edit and subtract. And now if I zoom in again, sorry to keep going backwards and forwards, you can see I've split my circle in half, but when I click on it, it's one item still. If I right click, there's no ungroup. So the only way to break this apart now, because we only need half a circle, is to use divide. So you can come up to edit and use divide down here, or you can select it, right click and use divide. And now if I click, you'll see that these are now two separate bits. Okay, we can put one on one side and we can either delete it or we can use it, whatever we want to do with it. So we've got this. Okay, so I'm going to bring on another circle, and again, I can't remember what size I made this, but it was possibly 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to take this circle down to 1/4 of an inch. And if any of you are asking me any questions, I will come back to this in a minute. So let's do 0.25 or as near as we can get. Let's just have a look at that. That seems to be okay. So I'm just going to zoom in again on this just so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I've got a circle, and again if I fill it with colour just so you can see, it's just a straightforward circle. I'm going to right click and duplicate it, and then I want to position it so that each one of these circles overlaps this half moon. Now I'm going to take the colour out so that you can see it hopefully better. Okay, but the first thing I want to do is select both my circles, and I want to line them up either on the top or on the bottom so that I know that when we cut this, it's not going to be lopsided. Okay, so I've just got the two circles selected. I'm going to come to edit, and you can either choose to align them on the top or on the bottom, doesn't make any difference. And now I'm just going to left click anywhere on my page to deselect, so they're lined up together, but the circle is not in the middle of this arc. So I'm going to select this circle, and you can see it's got 3 blue circles along the top of the bounding box. I'm going to, by eye, just try and get the middle one centralised to the bottom of this green arc. And I'm just going to use, I'm going to zoom in a bit more. Okay, so you can see what I'm talking about. And I'm just going to use the arrows on my keyboard. So I'm just trying to get this blue dot that's on this bounding box, so it's kind of central to this arc. Again, you know, it's not absolutely vital, but it's good if you can do it. We know these 2 circles are lined up on the top or on the bottom. So again, now if I choose this one and just move this one over to the left slightly, just so it's kind of in the middle, okay? So now if we select all these 3 elements and go edit and weld, this is what we get, our little headphones, okay? So let's just go back down to 55% and let's have a look compared to this one. It's kind of there or thereabouts in size. So now I'm going to make a duplicate of this so that we can use it again without having to keep creating the shapes. And then now I'm going to bring this over here. I'm going to select both. I'm going to go edit. Oh, see, I always do the wrong one. Edit, align on the horizontal, so you can see where it's positioned. And then if I click on the little headphone shapes, they're on top of the red shape. So now when I select both, hopefully, and go edit, subtract, that punches that out of it. So that's another shape we've made. And if we go back to Jamilla's, you can see it's resembling the bottom row middle shape. Okay, then if you look at the one to the left, that just looks like a scallop oval. So if we come to our basic shapes and let's just choose, I don't like that one, let's choose this one. Let's see what we've got in here in basic. That one, we'll get rid of that one. So we've got this one. Oh, you can't see, sorry, let's go back. Let's get rid of that. Sorry, you weren't seeing what I was doing. So over here in the basic shapes, I've come down to where like the circles and the ovals are. And which one have I chosen? That one. So 3rd one in from the left, okay? So if we select it, I'm going to hold the shift key down and just rotate it. So we've got this, and then now we can come to our pre-made shape. So let me select these 2 and duplicate them. We can bring on this one. We can bring on this one. Once you make these 2 basic shapes, everything else becomes so easy. I'm going to select all 3 elements. I'm going to go to edit. Is it that one? No, see, every time I choose the wrong one. You think I'd learn by now, wouldn't you? Learn from my own tutorial. So align them all up so they're all central. And then if I choose the bottom one and just fill it with colour so you can see what I'm doing. So you can see that the bottom one's solid and these 2 are there. Again, you could leave these, group it, send it over to your machine, cut it, but I prefer the visual thing. So I want to make sure that these 2 shapes are on top of this scallop. I'm going to select everything, go edit, subtract. And if you fill your bottom shape with colour, you'll always know whether the subtractor's worked because you can see through it. Okay? So that's another one. Now, again, what I'm going to do, I'm going to undo all that because I want to make this the same size as these. So I'm going to drag it out so it's about 6 inches high. Because I think I actually forgot to do that with the circular one. So if, let's see how wide this goes. If we make this 6, this actually goes to about 4.5. And I think in Jamilla's photograph, if we have a look here, we've got 1, 2, 3. They're about 4 inches wide. So, you know, we could maybe take that in, or we could leave it as it is. And then again, we can select these two, we can position them on top, select all 3, go edit, align center, and then edit, subtract. This one is just over 6 inches and just under 4 inches wide. So if you want them all to be the same height, then obviously, you know, I could have welded this rounded rectangle a bit lower so the height became 6, or I can, you know, adjust the height. So that's just something to bear in mind, whatever size you want them. So that's another one. And then let's have a look at one now that's made with shapes and shapes. So let's have a look at the one on the bottom row right. Now to me, that looks like 2 kind of rounded rectangles with a couple of circles and then the shapes cut out of it. So let's come back to canvas. Can you all see that? It's not caught up on my phone. Oh yeah, there we go. So bottom right we're looking at now. Let me just come back to the comments and see, because I've not looked at them, have I, for ages. So let me see what we're saying. Hi Derek, it's okay. Alison saying that's brilliant. Wish I knew this. Wow, this is a great time saver. Making the shapes first, then duplicating them. Top row middle shape. Is that a built-in one or made up one? If I made up, how was that made? So the top row middle is like my purple one. Oh, you can't see. So the top row middle of Jamilla's photograph is like my purple one here, and that's a shape I made. Okay, so to do that one, let's do that one. I was going to do the other one, but we'll do this one first. So again, I came to basic shapes and I can't remember which one I used, so just bear with me while I think I used this one, 3rd row down on the far right, and then I rotated it. I dragged it out to make it about 6 inches high. Again, you know, not vital at this point. Not so sure that is the right shape though now. Let me have a look through the basic shapes. Which one did I use? Because it's more... Oh, I know. Oh no, it is. I think it is this one. Okay, and then I got a circle and I literally positioned a circle so it sat within this shape. So I sized it down. Can you see? So that I've got a gap on this side and a gap on that side. And depending on where you position this will determine, you know, how much you've got here. So I'm going to duplicate that circle, bring it down. I'm going to have one circle selected, hold my shift key down and select my other circle. And then I just want to line them up, say on the left edge, so I know that they're more or less lined up. And then I'm going to select the bottom one and just move it down ever so slightly. And I'm going to select the top one and move that one down. What I'm trying to get is a similar amount of space here at the bottom as at the top here. So I'm just going to juggle them down a little bit and then select both, go edit and weld. So it does seem to be a slightly different shape. I'm not sure what I did here. I may have taken the sides out a bit more. So let's undo this one and let's just choose this. I think what I might have done is kind of dragged. Can you see? I've just selected that shape and I'm just dragging the nodes out a bit just to make it a bit more bowed. Select everything, go edit and weld. And then again, you want your two shapes. I'm going to select them both, duplicate them, and I'm going to position them on top. Let's go edit, align them all up so they're all aligned up, you know, centrally. And then let's do edit, subtract, select it, fill it with another colour, choose a nice bright pink, and there we've got another one. I think it's more or less the same. What I probably did is made the start of it smaller so that the total finished size would be 6. So we can always undo. Let's see how far we can go back. So let's just redo that. So this one is, let's have a look, what size is it? I'm going to make this one a bit shorter in height. Select them all, go edit. I think my screen's going funny, so while I wait for it to come back, because it's not highlighting anything at the moment, so I'm just going to wait for my screen. I think my screen's just gone a bit funny. Let's see if no. What I'm going to do, I'm going to just save all these on my mat, and all these shapes, and I'm just going to save it, and then I'm just going to go back to Canvas, My Projects, and open the file again and see if that works, because it's just, for some reason, it's just not letting me. There we go, they're back now. Okay, it wasn't letting me see these icons. So centralizing them all together, edit, weld. So that's my shape. Still not quite the size. Let's just keep going back. So let's bring these down a bit more. Bring this one up. I'll catch up with your comments in a minute, sorry. Select these three, just make sure they're all centered, and go edit and weld. Okay, that's a bit more like it, isn't it? So yeah, that's a bit more like it. And again, we need to bring these two shapes. I'm going to position them, select them both, edit, align them up horizontally, put them on the display card. I'm going to actually just move this one up a little bit. I want these two on top. Select these three, edit, align them all horizontally, and then let's do edit, subtract. Now it's disappeared because the big shape must be on the top. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to go send to back. Now that doesn't always work in Canvas, but we'll try it again and see. So hopefully the big shape here is at the back now, and these two should be on top. So we'll go edit, subtract. No, it's not. So something is still not okay. So I'm going to right click, send to back again. I'm clicking on that and that's on top, and I'm clicking on that and that's on top now. So they were layered incorrectly. So let's just do edit and align them all up to make sure they're all lined up, because you know, sometimes when you touch them, they move. And now if we do edit, subtract, it should work. Okay. So if we fill this with a nice bright pink, there's another shape. So you can see we're making different shapes from shapes. One thing I did forget to do though, so let me just undo it. And I bet you're all shouting it at me, aren't you? I want to select both of these and make a duplicate for the next one. So let's come back to this now. Edit, subtract. Let's select it, fill it with a nice bright pink, and then we'll move on to the next shape. But let me see what we're saying. I'm just going to come back to comments now because I'm not sure what you're saying. Thanks, Alice, and I just thought it went nicely with the keyrings we made last week. If anything, it gets you thinking on building your own new shapes. Wow, a lot easier than I thought. Yes, Alice, and I agree. I've been playing this afternoon with a design on the toothpaste tube I made. Is that right? Okay, let's see. Duplicate small bits, Ashley. Yeah, sorry, I knew somebody would be telling me. You will have to make them shapes again now. Did you duplicate the small shapes? See, you're all there before me. If I'd have been reading the comments, I'd have known, wouldn't I? Let's see. You didn't duplicate. I know you're all there before me. We tried to tell you. Barbara's saying would look nice if the display cards were always the key ring shape. Also convert for earrings and necklaces. Yeah, definitely anything. Once you know the basics. See, Alison's saying we did. We're good pupils. We listened. Brilliant. Right, so before I go any further, I'm going to make duplicates of these again now. Okay, because I want to use these in a minute. So let's go back to Jamilla's picture. So bottom row, far right. Okay, that's what we're going to look at now. Bottom row, far right. That to me looks like two rounded rectangles and a couple of circles. So let's get rid of that. Let's come back to basic shapes. Let's try and find a rounded rectangle. Possibly this one, let's see. Or possibly this one, I think, actually. Okay, I'm going to go with this one on the right, so I'm going to get rid of that. So this is, yeah. So third one along. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows down, third row along. I'm going to drag it out and make it about 5-ish. In fact, I'm going to do 4 3/4 high. And I'm going to make this one wider. So I'm going to take this one to let's do about 3 1/4. I'm going to choose, let me see, I'm going to choose that same rounded rectangle, and I want to drag it out. Let me just have a look at Jamilla's picture again. Sorry, I keep forgetting what I'm doing. So we want that and that. I think this is going to work. Oh, sorry. And then we want a circle. And I'm going to take the circle down. What I'm thinking, about 1 inch or thereabouts maybe. And I'm going to duplicate that circle. So let's select all these shapes and see what we get. So we'll go edit, align all horizontally. And then we'll go edit and weld and see what we get. So let's have a look. So if I fill this with colour, select it and fill it with colour. Let's choose another colour now. I'm going to undo, because I've just realised that the circle on the bottom is hanging down further than the one on the top. So I'm going to take it up so the gap here is similar. Let's select all 3 again and go edit and weld. and then select the shape and fill it with another colour. So what do you think about that? That looks, let's have a look at Jamilla's. Similar, isn't it? You might just have to make your, original rectangle a bit wider, just play around with it, but it's the same kind of principle, okay? So let's choose these two that we've already got made. Let's go edit, align them horizontally. We'll position them on the top. Now they're not on the top because when I click away, they've disappeared. So I'm going to click the purple shape and go right click, send to back, and now they've appeared. So when I select everything and go edit, subtract, they're punched out. So can you see what I mean? So we started off with simple little shapes that we welded together to give us this. Then we started off with a circle and a circle, subtracted it to give us a circular frame. We divided it in half using a skinny rectangle. Then we divided it to give us 2 bits, and then we added 2 circles on, and this is what we got. So if you keep these 2 shapes all the time, you can just keep duplicating these, and every time you come up with another shape, you can put these on them. Now, I'm going to try and very, very quickly just have a go at one last one, but I tried having a quick play at this earlier today, and this last one, it takes more working on, but I'm going to kind of show you the principle. So let's just bring Jamilla's picture back in. Eddie, go and sit down, baby. Go and sit down. So if you look at the top row left, okay, top left, it's quite an ornate shape. So to do something like this, again, I looked at it and thought, what shapes are within that shape? So let's see what we're saying. So Sean's saying, would it be easy to select a slim round oblong instead of the circles? Yeah, you could do. Just try anything. As I say, it's just the way my mind works. When I look at a shape, I look to see what shapes I can see within it. But yeah, a skinny rounded rectangle, elongated, yeah, or 2 circles, whatever, works best for you. Lynn's saying, Jamilla, it's always more difficult first time. It gets easier the more you do it. What are you doing, Eddie? Stop it. Duplicate, yeah, okay. So again, I'm going to duplicate my shapes. I don't know if I'll have time to do this this last one complete, but I'll kind of give you a bit of an idea. So first of all, I'm going to we need a kind of a rounded rectangle. So let's get rid of Jamilla's shapes. So I'm going to come back to, let's have a look at this one and rotate this. And I'm going to drag this one out and make it a bit bigger. Okay, so we're starting off with a rounded rectangle. Then I started trying to play with the path tool and trying to create a fancy shape up here. And I kind of got there in the end, but it took me forever. So then I thought, right, what shape have we got within the basic shapes that we can probably try and make use of? So let me find which one did I use. I found this one down here, the kind of like teardrop one. So I'm going to grab this on. I think Eddie is trying to chew my office chair because I'm not paying him any attention. Eddie, what are you doing, baby? Sit down. Stop it, being naughty. So I'm going to rotate this just to give me an idea of size. I kind of want this to be about half the width of this. So I'm going to drag it down until it kind of possibly looks about what I'm looking for. And then I'm going to right click, make a duplicate, and I'm going to come to edit and flip it. So I've now got 2. Now I can't remember, I don't think I overlapped them. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to select these 2 shapes. I'm going to make them a group, because in Canvas Workspace Online, to size more than one object together, you've got to group them. In the computer-based version, you don't have to. I'm just going to shrink them down a little bit and then ungroup them. And then I'm going to bring them back, because I don't want them to overlap in the middle. I don't think I overlap them. I've literally only played with this very, very briefly today. I'm just going to zoom in on this top section. Right, let me see what you're saying. It looks like a curly bracket. Yeah, hi Vicky. Linda's saying, poor baby wants to be in the conversation and wants you to talk to him. Every time I come and work at my desk, he comes up to me. He can be fast asleep, and then he'll wake up and he'll come up to me and he jumps up at my chair and he starts like pawing at my arm as much as say, look, I'm here and you need to pay me attention. So when I started this live, he was asleep on the floor. He's obviously heard me talking. He thinks I'm talking to him and he just keeps up. And because I'm not paying him any attention, he's decided to start chewing my office chair. But now he's been a good boy. He's just had a little drink and I think he's gone and sat down on the floor somewhere because I can't see him, but I can hear him because I've got a tag on his collar now. And I can hear it jingling. So let's see. Ashley, how about the Diablo shaped one? Right hand side, second bottom row. Right hand side, second bottom row. Is that the one I've just done, Lynn? Not sure. Right hand side, second bottom row. Have I not just done that one? I thought I'd just done that, or did I get sat? No, that was the one I've just done with the two rectangles, wasn't it? And the circles. Let's go back. Wasn't that this one, Lynn? That's supposed to look like bottom row, right hand side. I mean, you could stretch it out and make it look a bit more like it. So let's come back to, we're doing top row, far left now. Okay, let's just zoom back in on this. So I'm going to select these two and duplicate them and just put them out of the way. So now let's have a look and see what we get. So if we weld these three shapes together now, because I honestly can't remember. As I say, I did have a little play with this today. Let's weld that. Kind of got there. You see, what I do, I weld things, and then if I don't like it, I undo it, and then I weld again. But I think we're kind of getting there. So what I'm going to do now is, I just want a triangle. So let's bring a triangle onto the screen. I'm just going to come down to 55% again, just so that I'm going to bring this triangle down and I'm going to position that in the middle, and then I'm just going to select all these, edit, oh, wrong one. See, I always do the wrong one. Edit, no, I don't want that. In fact, no, I should be right, shouldn't I? Because I did line them up before. So let's choose. I've got the rounded rectangle, I've got the two pear shapes and the triangle now. Let's go edit, weld. That's kind of a bit like it, isn't it? But it might be, let's come back to this. Let's see. Similar. We're getting there, I think. So let's undo because that triangle's not in the right place. So I'm going to select the rectangle, hold my shift key down and select the triangle. And I'm going to go edit, center. That's better. Now let's choose all these and go edit, weld and see how it looks. So yeah, so I think we're kind of getting there. So I'm going to undo that now. And what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to choose the two pear shapes and the triangle. I'm going to right click and make them a group and just make a duplicate of them. And then I'm going to come back down to about 55% so I can see what's going on my screen. And I'm going to bring these down. I'm going to come to edit and I want to flip it. Is it that way? Yeah, upside down so that this point points down and that one points up. Yeah. And then I'm going to position these on here again now so I kind of get a similar amount of distance. I'm going to select all these, edit, align them all centrally, and then edit and weld. Now that one's not right, is it? So this needs to be let's just try that again. Might need moving, edit, weld. No, something odd's going on here. What have I done wrong? Need it out a bit more? Or do I need it in a bit more? Let's just see. Edit and weld. See, something odd's going on here. And I'm not sure what. So let's have a look at the shape. Let's ungroup it. Select it all. And select it all, edit, and that's better. Let's try that. And then we'll make it a group again just to make it easier for moving. And then we'll position. So the blue dots here that are going through the middle of the pair are just below. So if I do the same here, should be in about the same place. Select them all again, line them, oh goodness sake Ashley, line them all up and then let's weld them and see how we're looking. That's better. So I'm going to undo that. I'm going to make another duplicate. I'm going to rotate this one vertically. Let me just see what you're all saying. So Charmaine's saying, what's the easiest way to know which canvas version you're working on? Okay, so the big blue or purple download button on the... Oh, sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. I've just realised. Oh, you're all shouting at me. Sorry. Right. Back some steps. Yeah, sorry, I've just realised I had Jamilla's pictures on the screen. Okay, where did we get to? Did you see me do the two pear shapes and the triangle? Just answer me that question first. While I answered Charmaine. The easiest way to know which version you're using, Charmaine, is if you see this big purple download button on the left of your screen, you know you're using the online version. That's the first question answered. Sorry, you're all shouting at me, I know. Can only see the photograph, flip your screen. Oh, sorry guys. She just shout. Oh, because I'm that busy concentrating on what I'm doing. I'm not looking at the comments. I'm sorry. Right, tell me, where did we get to? Did you see me make the two pear shapes and the triangle while I have a quick drink? Lynn's saying yes, Yolanda's saying yes. Right, okay. So I position the two pear shapes and the triangle centrally to this rounded rectangle, okay? And then I welded them, so just those two selected for now, and I went edit and weld. And if they kind of look right, then I know I'm on the right lines. If I think they don't look right, I just do undo and get myself back, okay? So I know that roughly that's what I want. So then I made a duplicate of this, flipped it so that the triangle points down at the bottom and it's pointing up at the top, okay? And I can see, I'm just going to zoom in on here. Okay, Sean, I've got you. So I'm looking at this triangle, the tip on this triangle. And what I'm looking for is to see if the distance of the tip overlaps this rectangle the same as it does at the top. Now I can see on this bottom one it doesn't, so I'm going to move it down fractionally, okay? So I've got these 3 items grouped and these 3 items grouped, and hopefully the tip of the triangle is extending beyond this rectangle at the top and the bottom a similar distance, okay? So now I'm going to select all 3 and I'm going to go edit, and is it this one? Yeah. So it's edit and it's the center align here, and that way this section and this section align centrally to the width of this rounded rectangle, okay? Then before I do anything else, I'm going to select one of these, right click and make a duplicate, which is what I've done here. And I think that's the point where we got to, and I realised that I'd still got Jamilla's photograph on screen. Okay, so I'm going to select all these shapes now, and I'm going to go edit and weld and have a look and see if that's kind of what I'm looking for. And as far as this goes, it is. I'm not going to spend any more time, you know, messing about with it at the moment. So now with this one, I'm going to make it bigger. I'm going to drag it out and make it bigger. Again, just play about with this. You know, you can spend an awful lot of time trying to make this work. I'm just going to drag it in, and I'm going to kind of look again at how much this triangle extends beyond this right hand edge of this shape, okay? I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to come to edit, and is it that one? Yeah, so this time it's edit and flip this one, so it flips it the other way. And again, I'm going to position this over here so that this tip of the triangle is about the same distance away from this left hand edge as it is on the right, okay? Then I'm going to select everything. Let's see if we can do this in one go. No, undo. Select everything and go edit and align them all up. So now these 2 funny pear shapes with a triangle are aligned up together, and they sit centrally within this shape I made originally, okay? So I'm going to select everything and I'm going to go edit and weld and see how it looks. Now that's just gone completely odd, hasn't it? So let's move that away. Let's try it this way. Let's do edit, weld. Let's undo and see why it's going wrong. Oh, I know why it's going wrong, because the corner of the triangle here is not touching this pear shape, but this one is. So let's ungroup it and let's rotate this fractionally so they're not touching, and let's try weld that and see what we get. That's not too bad. So I'll get rid of that one. I'm going to duplicate this now. I know it looks a bit odd here, but don't worry, because that's going to get welded to the side of this shape. We want to flip this one, so edit, flip. Let's see if we can just line these both up on the top edge. Bring this one in, select everything, edit, align, and now let's try and weld it all together and see if it works. There we go. So we've kind of got something like that. Looks a bit odd at the side, so we can undo, and what we can do is choose one of them and let's move it 1, 2, 3 to the right. Choose this one and move it 1, 2, 3 to the left. It might be because this rectangle's quite wide in the middle, but you kind of get the idea. This is what I would do. I would just keep playing, welding, undoing if it doesn't look right, jiggling shapes around, and then re-welding and see. It's kind of, but you know, it's not perfect, but it's kind of. Let's move this out. So let's move it more to the middle and see how this looks. This might look even worse. So we'll go edit, weld. See, that looks too fat to me. So I would be inclined to move these over and possibly, let's duplicate this and possibly even shrink this down maybe. Let's try them again. Let's see, you just kind of got to keep playing. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to give you, you know, the basic idea. Want this one moving over a bit. And I'm just looking at the blue circle in the top of the bounding box, and it's sitting just inside this line, and on here it is. So kind of roughly about, Eddie, what on earth are you doing? Let's just weld that one and see. So we've kind of got, you know, something along the lines. It's not perfect, you just need to play about with it. Let's just go back and see what we're saying. Can't get the staff. Brilliant. I like the idea of using the brackets in the text. Could you find a curly brace that mimics the curve, then convert to shape and use that as the basics of your sides? Yeah, just have a play around with it. I mean, I'm just kind of, Canvas Workspace Online is a bit more limited than using Canvas Workspace for computer. With the computer-based version, you could probably, like you say, find, you know, that kind of curly shape within one of the fonts, but you can't bring fonts into Canvas Workspace Online. But you kind of get the idea. Do you know what I mean? You get the basic idea, don't you, of what I'm getting at. Right, let's see what we're saying. Doing these shapes has made me think. Thinking doesn't happen much lately. We could make shape cards with a flat base using this method. Yeah, anything. You know, I mean, this all started off with Jamilla's, you know, display cards. Eddie's back, by the way. But again, once you've kind of got your basic shape, then again, you know, you'd bring in your two shapes. Let's just bring these, edit them, pop them on this one, select all three. I'm not so sure I like this one. It looks a bit odd. But we'll play with this one for now. Let's do edit. Oh, for goodness sake. Edit. And then let's do edit, subtract. Now, obviously the rectangle must be on top. So let's select that and send it to the back. And then just click on these again to make sure these are on top. I know I moved one, so I'm just going to realign it. Edit, subtract. And then we'll fill it with a colour. What colour have we not used today? Orange. There you go. So I'm going to get rid of that one. But these are kind of like the shapes I started off with. You've got, you know, your basic shapes here that you would use. These are the shapes that I started off with to make all this. And then we've got all these display cards now that, you know, we can use. Let's move all these out of the way for a minute. And these are all the different shapes that I've shown you how to make. So what do you think? How are we doing? Cat on the pitch, Sutty just dumped on me. That's like Eddie keep pouring at me. He's literally stood outside now. We have a balcony all around the back of our house because our house is raised off at the back. So our garden's a lot lower. And he's literally just stood on the balcony at the doors looking at me, which is say, you're not talking to me, I'm just going to go and stand out here now. I don't know. Could you just do the first one, edit and weld, then duplicate it, flip it, and that? Yeah, you can. You just play around with it. I mean, when I was making this one, this funny shape one, when I was having to play with it a little earlier, I literally did that. I kind of made this shape, and then I kind of chopped a bit off it, and then I duplicated it and rotated it and played about with it. So yeah, anything. Just, as I say, I'm just kind of was looking at Jamilla's photograph and just trying to work out, what shapes I saw within the shapes that she sent the picture of. Sean's saying, thank you, Ashley, very helpful. I'm on my laptop now. It's on the sofa, so the cat sits on my legs. Charlotte's saying it's especially fun if Ashley does it. How about a card to match the display card with keyring presses? Yeah, anything, perfect. How do we get our saved items in here into the online version? So Jamilla, anything that you make in here, let me just get rid of all these bits because I don't need them. I'm going to put those on. I'm going to get rid of that one. I don't need that one, and the pink one is just a duplicate of the purple one, so I'll get rid of that. So make sure that all your shapes or whatever you've made sit within the red bounding box of your mat. Give it a name up here. I've called it display cards, and I'm just going to save it. Okay, so to get this to your Canvas workspace for computer, you need to hit download. You need to save it to your PC. Now mine automatically drops into my downloads folder. You need to then open Canvas Workspace for computer, which you'll just have to bear with me for a minute while it opens. Don't forget the thumbs up, Lynn saying another informative tutorial. Ashley, thanks again. Take care and stay safe till next week. Yeah, and you take care. Download it to your device, Lynn's saying. So let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. So this is now Canvas Workspace opened on my computer. And Charmaine was asking before how you know the difference. You've not got the big purple download button here. So this is how you now know that you're working on your computer-based version. Okay, so then you come to File, Open. I need to navigate to my Downloads folder, find my FCM. Oh no, it's not open, is it? Is it import? I always forget. It's import. So it's File, Import from Computer. Navigate to my Downloads folder. There's my FCM file I've just made in Canvas Workspace online, which I've downloaded to my computer. And this is now all opened in Canvas Workspace for computer. So I hope that answers that question. Barbara's saying, bye everyone, looking for a Canvas Workspace week ahead. You could design your logo in Canva, print on canvas and then cut these shapes around it. Kathy's saying, thanks Ashley for a great tutorial. Linda Crawford, thank you. Hi JD Cougar, thanks Ashley, these steps are very creative. Is that Hannah in the background? Yes it is, Vicky. I've got several pictures as screensavers. It changes every 5 minutes or so between Hannah and Eddie. Thea's saying, brilliant tutorial. Thank you, Ashley. Stay well, everyone. Not about next week, next weekend. So if there is a live, I will catch up. Happy Easter, everybody. Yeah, it's Easter, isn't it? I didn't realise it was Easter next weekend until before, when I was looking to do the thumbnail for this live, and I looked at the day and then I realised next weekend's Easter. I'm hoping to be here next weekend, but I'm not sure what I'm doing. If for any reason I can't make it, I'll post a note on the community tab here on YouTube. So on my YouTube homepage there's a tab that says community. I'll post information there. Enjoyed the tutorial, appreciate the time. You're welcome, Linda. Thank you, I would never have done that without your help. You're welcome, Jamilla. Happy Easter, Corinne's saying to everybody for next week. Alison's saying I've learned a lot tonight. You've learned loads, Alison. You've done really well, haven't you? And like you said before, you were saying she's going to group or she's going to weld, or see, you do know it. It's just like me, we just forget it, don't we? And Jamilla's saying, oh yes, happy Easter. So has anybody got any questions before I go? And I can go and feed Eddie and take him for another walk while it's still light. So Jamilla's saying, so I won't panic if I see the tab. Oh yes, happy Easter. Happy Easter. I will watch the replay to see how you did the cutouts. Okay, Vicky. Once you see me do it, you'll realise. You'll know. Vicky, have you seen the new Stampin' Up colours that are coming in May? You do Stampin' Up, don't you, from memory? Jamilla's saying, and all, don't forget we can go back and watch these over and over. Yeah, it says it's recording, so fingers crossed, you know, it should all be up on the YouTube channel once I end the live. Sometimes it takes a little while to view it because it, depending on how long I've been on, it takes a while to upload it, but it is saying it's recording, so you should, anybody that's missed it should be able to go back and watch. I would love to see Eddie. Have you not seen him, Linda? I'll try and get him in a minute. I need to connect my other camera. So if you just bear with me while I see if I can connect my FaceTime camera. Please don't say the walk word when my dog is listening. Sorry. Let me just see which is my FaceTime camera, the one that ends 1978. Let me see if I can do this while I'm live. I'm not sure. Vicky, you want to see Hannah? Okay. There she is. There's my Hannah. That was in the Sunningdale foursomes this year. Let me put that back on. Let me try and see if I can find my FaceTime camera. So, cameras, add. You just have to bear with me a minute. An input, add source. Which one did I say was FaceTime? The one that ends 1978. Done. Let's see if we can get a FaceTime camera. So you just have to bear with me. Eddie, come here, baby. Come here. Come here. Come on, let me pick you up. Ooh. He's getting so big. Right, just bear with me a minute while I swap cameras. So whoever wanted to see him, I don't know how dark this is going to look on your screen. Just bear with me 1 minute. No, don't you go away. Don't you run away. Somebody wants to see you, baby. Wait a minute. Okay. It's a bit dark, isn't it? And I don't know how to... Hang on, let me put a light on. Oh, let's see if we can put a light on so somebody can see you. Come here 1 minute. Somebody wants to see you, baby. Come here. See if this is any better. Come here. Come on. Ooh. Right, so whoever it was that wanted to see him, here he is. Not sure how well... You're not even looking. Somebody wants to see you, mister. There you go. Can you see him? So pretty, Hannah. I love the look of determination on her face. I need to go now. Lots of hugs to you all. Yeah, take care, and you and Jim. Charlotte saying love to see Eddie. Vicky, Hannah is so talented. Hugs back, Alison. I swear he's grown in the last couple of weeks. He definitely has, Charlotte. I'm not sure if you can hang on. Let's see. Oh no, I'm trying to tilt. There you go. It's not the greatest light for some reason, and yeah, it's nice and bright. Oh, that boy grows every time we see him. He definitely does. Swing away from the window. Oh, hang on. There you go. Is that any better? I'm not sure it is. This room's so light as well, so I don't understand why you can't see him that good. It's fooling the camera. Okay, hang on. Let's see. Oh, there you go. Right, look there, mister. Oh, no, you're touching the keyboard. That's him touching the keyboard. Look up there. What's up there? Eddie, look, what's up there? What's up there? What's up there? Somebody wants to see your pretty face. Your handsome face. No, not me. Up there. He is gorgeous. What a beautiful boy. Thank you for showing me Eddie. He is so precious. He's lovely. He's a proper character. Do you want to go now, mister? Okay, wait. Phew. Right, so yeah, he is lovely, and he's growing, and he's a proper little character. And I don't know where he is now. Oh, he's sat on the floor behind me. So that's it. Heather's saying lovely seeing him. Happy Easter. We can see the back of the chair more clearly. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It looks a bit dark, and I don't know why, because it's very light in here. But anyway, not to worry. I keep making clicking noises at him. He can't hear me. He's gone off outside again now. Oh no, he's back. He wants his tea, and he probably wants a walk. Right, has anybody got any last minute questions or anything before I go? What are you growling at, mister? There's just something going up the lane. He's like a proper little guard dog. I live on a quiet lane, and anything that goes up the lane, there's only farms beyond us and a few houses. Anytime anybody goes up the lane, he like walks around grumbling. Excuse me. Lovely seeing him. Happy Easter. We can see the back of the chair. So nice to have a face with your voice, Ashley. Oh, Linda, you're welcome. Charlotte saying thank you, Eddie and Hannah too. Take care all. Have a great Easter. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Jamilla. I have lost the plot, I think. Susan's saying thank you, Ashley. Okay, I can't see any questions or anything coming through, and I can see that the numbers are dropping. So obviously people are, going away now. So I will say goodbye. Take care, everybody. As I say, hopefully I'll try and be here next Sunday. But with it being Easter, I'm not sure. But I will post something on the community board if I'm not going to be live for any reason next week. Yeah, nice talking to you too, Linda. So I'm going to say goodbye and go and get some food and take him for his walk.